Hi everyone, this is Mohan Raghavan. In previous video, we have seen the cyber security introduction and what are the different kinds of safety tips we can maintain in the cyber security. In today's video, we are going to see HTTPS. In any scenario, you will be just logging into any website by using the HTTP protocol HTTPS. But however, in this video, we will be seeing what is HTTPS. So generally, when you transmit a data over the net, so you need to follow some protocol. In simple words, protocol is a step-by-step procedure to handle some event or moving some data from one location to another location. In normal scenario, you will be considered as a client and you will be sending to the server, and server will be responding as a response. So the response will be in HTML format and it follows some protocol. The protocol is simply called Hypertext Transfer Protocol. However, the main disadvantage about the HTTP is if you send any sensitive information over the net, so that will be traveled through the network by a simple text format. So that means that if you type any username, password, or credit card information, that will be sent as it is. So it will be very easy for the hacker if he intercept in middle of the network, so he can get all the details of you and he can do further things. So for that reason only, we will be using always HTTPS. So we will see what is the definition about the HTTPS. A hyper transfer protocol secure. S stands for secure, a secure version of HTTP, which is primarily protocol used to send data between a web browser and the website. HTTP is encrypted in order to increase the security of data transfer, as we discussed. And when you do the sensitive information such as like login information for the banking or email service or health insurance provider, such as your health details. So those are the sensitive information. If you are just sending through the network, you should follow the HTTPS protocol. The HTTPS encryption protocol uses the TLS or SSL algorithm. Or let's say this is the protocol again. The transport layer security, and it formally called as SSL, secure sockets layer. So this is the definition about the HTTPS. And a pictorial representation of HTTPS. In the above diagram, you can see the username, password, and the information, everything goes as it is. But whereas in the below one HTTPS, the username and password will be encrypted and it will be sent through the network. And the same way, the response also will be encrypted and it will be coming to the browser again. So in this time, if you are familiar with encryption and decryption, so that is fine. But if you are the basic user of the HTTPS, so what is encryption and decryption, that we will see. The encryption is the process of converting normal message. In simple words, it's a plain text into a meaningless message. Obviously, it's not a meaningless. It will be the converted message which will be having the ciphertext. So ciphertext means by using some algorithm or some methodology, the plain text will be converted to the ciphertext. The only people who created this algorithm will be knowing how to convert back again as a simple text. Whereas the decryption is the process of converting this meaningless message or ciphertext into the original form, which is called plain text. So by this way, over the network, you will be passing the meaningless message or the ciphertext, which cannot be interpreted or which cannot be taken and used by the, let's say, hackers. So here you can see the diagram. The sender has the plain text which has to be traveled through the network. He does the encryption. After encryption, now you can consider encryption and decryption algorithm as a black box. It will be one kind of methodology. After doing the encryption, it will become ciphertext and you will put it into network. In network, it will travel and it will reach the receiver. Receiving the text, it will be decrypted, in which way you will convert the encrypted data into the plain text again. So in this methodology is called as decryption. So with this way, you will have the secure communication between the sender and receiver over the network. And encryption and decryption, as we discussed, is done using some key algorithms that has to be seen separately in another video. But however, you understand encryption and decryption will be do using the key algorithms. However, if you don't understand some of the points here, but the main checkpoints on the browser, if you're logging to any site, if you are going to do some financial transaction or if you are going to feed your personal information such as credit card or let's say the health information or let's say your date of birth or something, your personal information, if you are going to share, make sure that it should be HTTPS. And another way, HTTP. So it is like not secured way, or some sites are there still. Let's say you consider some browser websites. The browser websites is nothing but just a content purpose. You are going and seeing there, and you are not going to do any sharing, or you are not going to do any financial transaction over the site. So that time this HTTP is perfectly fine. But however, nowadays everyone using the HTTPS, even though if you are not using any financial transaction or personal information sharing there, because in Google also, if you are having the HTTP site, so that will be giving the less priority in the search results. So that's why every people started using HTTPS. So that will be your first checkpoint if you are doing anything on the browser which financial transaction or let's say personal information. Just make sure that should be HTTPS colon. And you can see the examples here in the Amazon side. You can see it is HTTPS, and on your browser left hand side you can see there is a symbol called secure and one lock symbol will be there. If you click on that, you can see further information which will make sure that it is a secured website. That means that your conversation between server will be secured and encrypted. Whereas in the down one, you can clearly see that is HTTP protocol, so that you will see the exclamation symbol, and if you click on that, it will clearly tell your connection to this site is not secure. That means that you should not pass any example passwords, credit cards. In some of the browsers, in the different Chrome browsers, you can see different kinds of symbols here. As we discussed, the first one is a secured HTTPS. So that's why you are seeing the lock symbol. And second one, you can see the exclamation symbol, which means that it is not secure. And third one is very dangerous because it's not secure as well as it's very dangerous. So that will have the danger symbol there. Some of the points on the HTTPS. HTTPS is not a separate protocol from HTTP. It is simply using TLS or SSL encryption over the HTTP protocol. And it starts with HTTPS colon slash slash. By default, it will be using 443, whereas in HTTP, it will use the 80 port. And cryptography is used to secure and protect data during the communication, which is superset of encryption and decryption. To understand further HTTPS, we need to know about SSL and key algorithms and digital certificates, which is unavoidable in case of if you are working with web browser or websites. The digital certificates and key algorithm and SSL, which makes sure it is secured and it has the well-known communication between the sender and receiver by using the encrypted link. So thanks all, thanks for watching and have a great day, and post your suggestion and subscribe for the channel.